Welcome back to the video Advent series, and today we're looking at Luke 2 verses 6 and 7. It says this: "While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them." So Leah, when you took a look at these two verses, what were the sort of the important things for us to notice, do you think?
Well, I think the thing that kind of jumps out to me straight away is just like the humble surroundings that Jesus came in. It wasn't sort of like some royal sort of birth that we might see, when George was born, big song and dance, sort of like, the trumpets weren't blowing and, didn't come down in a chariot in a purple robe. It was like, it was born in a stable, placed in a manger. Well, the traditional belief is that it was a stable. It says that it was placed in a manger. That was often carved into the wall of a stable. Yeah. So we believe that that's where he was born. And you just think, this is God. This is the Son of God. Yeah. Right. It just kind of blows your mind, doesn't it? When you take the time to actually think about it, that's God, and that's how he come to us. And you just think, I can't think of a more humble way that he could have entered our world. And
it's just laying out really the rest of his life, living a life of humility. And he starts off in a feeding trough, and we read later on in the New Testament where it says, he humbled himself and became nothing. And you just think, Jesus constantly did that throughout his life. And he started that way as well. It's amazing, really. And and you mentioned about kind of no guest room available for them as well. That was sort of a bit that stuck out to you. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, it's just, you think about Mary and Joseph. You think they've been obedient. Yeah. Mary's conceived as a virgin, so obviously she's put up with sort of like the scorn and maybe some of her family and people around town thinking, and Joseph's kind of stuck with her. And in that day, that wasn't. Yeah. That wasn't really the thing to do either. And they've been obedient. They've come back to Bethlehem. They've given birth, or she's given birth, and you just think, right, now you're carrying Jesus. You think, and they get to the inn and there's no room at the inn. You just think, if you're in their position, you'd be thinking like, hold on, God, just give us a bit of luxury. We've got your son on board. Yeah. And I think for me, that just kind of shows us that, just because we're in the will of God, or it doesn't mean everything's just going to work out nicely. So we're going to come against closed doors. We're going to come against discomfort. We're going to come against opposition. And, even as we look to plant sites, the doors are not going to fling open for us in every single, as we go on that journey. And then just even in our sort of private lives as well, like when we're looking for a job or perhaps trying to conceive, to have a child, or looking for a relationship, we just like, sometimes you can expect just the things to happen, and it's just not the way God works. And it's just like, it might not just all happen. A house sale might not go through easily, but it's just finding meaning and purpose. And you just think about Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good for those that love Him and called according to His purposes. Totally. Yeah. And it's just, I mean, this when I look at that, I just think, if I was in Mary and Joseph's shoes, I'd be thinking, Just give us a room,
come on,
just that's how it works.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like God calls us to obedience, but he never at any point says everything's going to be easy. No. But he does say, He works things all together, like you said in Romans 8. So that's so helpful. So thanks for bringing that. That's really cool.